Hello, secret agents. We are back.
Oh God, this one was kind of hard for me to find. Like, I could only find one episode of this show.
I think this might technically be lost media. Because, see, I found some other episodes, but it wasn't the full series. It was like maybe one or two.
And the rest I could find, it had some Romanian guy dubbing over him.
Okay, yeah. So we only watched one episode. It's the first one. Normally, if it was a series, we would maybe try to watch it all, but unfortunately, we just couldn't find it. And the series in question is Mary-Kate and Ashley in Action. Now, for some of our younger listeners, they probably have no idea who these people are. Well, when Rooty was just a wee babe, she was obsessed with the Olsen twins.
Yeah, my sister... Sorry. What?
No, go ahead.
My sister also had a big Olsen twins face as well growing up.
Your sister is a lady of culture. But so most people will know them from the show Full House. But the Olsen twins were really popular like during the 80s and 90s. They had their own fan club. They had... not one, but two series of VHS tapes that were really popular. They starred in the movie It Takes Two. And there was another one they started. Hang on, I'm going to check what it is. Here we are. They made music too. We're going to get into it a little bit more. But they were just everywhere during the 90s. They had so many... they did It Takes Two. Oh, Double Double Toilet and Trouble. To Grandmother's House We Go. They starred in a lot of television shows. Like they did a lot of, what is the word? Guest starring.
Oh, guest stars.
Yeah, they did some straight to like VHS movies. They were everywhere. They were super big. But then they kind of faded out, but we're going to talk about it. So like I said, during their acting career, Mary-Kate and Ashley were very popular. They first got their start on the popular comedy sitcom Full House. They played the youngest Tanner daughter, Michelle.
Oh, and I was still, I think, an infant still when the series first debuted.
Yep. They were babies. Like literally babies.
Yeah, and let's see what else. Yeah, and then as they got older, they became more popular on the show to the point where they began a bunch of straight-to-video specials in movies, like The Adventures of Mary-Kate and Ashley, Invited to Mary-Kate and Ashley, so on and so forth. But then when they got older, they decided to step away from acting and open up their own line of fashion under the label The Row.
Mm-hmm. They have not acted in years. Like when they brought back the spinoff of Full House, they decided they were not going to come back as Michelle Tanner. Mm-hmm. They still are they're doing pretty well for themselves. Mm-hmm. So this cartoon was released in the early aughts in 2001 on Disney's One Saturday Morning. It was produced by Deke, and it was one of the last productions they made for ABC following the network sale to Disney. And the show only lasted for one season due to low ratings.
Yeah, like I think this was one of the last times Deke made a show over ABC. Yeah. Sorry.
I think this might be the first time we've reviewed a show that was based off real people. But yeah, Deke was sort of infamous during we grew up, because it's like they had a lot of stuff. Some of it was good, some of it was bad, but mm-hmm. They were sort of the people who were like, hey, we want to make an animated show based on some famous people, or it's based off a popular toy, or it's based
trends.
Off yeah, it was Deke who did it. And this is
this was
how
really
do we
bad.
Describe this one.
Mm-hmm. It's like a poor man's Totally Spy.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. They were trying to be Totally Spies and they failed because this is boring.
Yeah, Totally Spies, I admit, is a dumb show, but at least it was campy enough and so stupid it's entertaining. But here,
yeah, it's fun.
The animation is really stiff, so it can't even have any of those anime-inspired gags from Totally Spies. Not to mention
Yeah,
some pretty bland character designs, and
Oh yeah.
apparently they try to
That doesn't
compensate by
suck.
editing it like it's a music video. Like, you get multiple shots of one scenery, and they add color filters and side split vision in screens. Like,
Yeah.
they have a habit of thinking that kids have a really, really short attention span.
Or that kids aren't going to notice things. Because they also reuse a lot of animation too.
Yeah, and we might as well talk about the only episode you watch, or the only one I watched. I don't know if you watched more than one.
No, I just watched the one. Because I kind of didn't want to watch the other ones. This is just, it's so boring.
So it starts so there was a live action intro where Mary-Kate and Ashley are like in a limo at a film premiere. And then it suddenly switches to live action where they're at the beach with a robotic Scottish terrier. They're supposed to be on vacation 10, and then he goes, "You know, there's no such thing as a healthy 10, which is apparently them trying to force in a moral." Because it's, yeah.
Was that supposed to be the moral?
Apparently, because they mentioned it in the beginning and the end.
That's a good point.
I don't know why, because the rest of the story doesn't really have anything to do with it. And some... sorry.
Go ahead.
Then some evil scientist jerk-off decides, because I can 10, no one's a 10, so he blacks out the sun, sending it to an ice age.
No, seriously, that's why he decides to block out the sun. Okay, so this guy is called Clive Hedgemore Smythe, or as I like to call him, stereotypical British man, because like that's such a British name.
I know.
And he also has a butler, because of course he has a butler. Everybody over in England has a butler, apparently. But another thing is they made him obsessed with Stilton cheese, and apparently Stilton's like really, really gross. But again, I noticed that they reused the animation because he takes a bite of Stilton, and then like later on they meet him and he picks up like the same piece of cheese and eats it again. So it's like, so you're just eating that same piece of cheese or what? Again, very lazy on Deke's part. But okay, so they apparently can fly a plane, but they don't have their driver's license. I am not sure that would be legal.
Doubt that even works. I really doubt that's how it works when it comes to vehicular licenses. So,
also, there's a random blue-haired dude in this, but I have no idea what his name is.
No, and I frankly don't care.
I can't find his name. I looked at the wiki. It's nowhere. He's just here, and I don't really know what he's supposed to do, but alrighty, whatever.
So they arrived at the mansion pretending to be tourists who read about a tour of the mansion, and so it's just that this goddamn show is so forgettable.
Yeah, and that also just, it doesn't make any sense either, because like, see, the butler, it's the butler who answers the door. He's like, oh, this is a private residence. But they're like, oh, but we found it online, and that makes him let them in.
Yeah.
But then what gets me is like, he just leaves them. I'm like, wait, you're just going to leave them there? In this really fancy schmancy house. It's like a manor, a really nice manor. And he just leaves them there. He doesn't go after them. He doesn't, I mean, he tells them to wait there, but of course they're not going to wait there because, you know, they're supposed to be spies. Okay, also another question. Another thing I noticed. So they call themselves Mary-Kate and Ashley, but apparently they have other names, Misty and Amber.
Yeah, that confused me for some reason. I don't know if that was just fake names they came up with or what.
I have no idea. Yeah. Because that's the names they use when they meet the villain. And I know it sounds like we're sort of struggling, but this is another case of where the show is just really
boring.
Really boring.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing here. There's like, because besides like the animation being not that creative or fluid and them reusing it, the story itself is just, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not like you said with Totally Spies, it's kind of cheesy and over the top, but it's still fun. Like Clover, Sam, and Alex are fun characters.
Yeah, but this was just them clearly putting in the bare minimum to cash in on the popularity of these two celebrities.
Well, I think what just also gets me is the Mary-Kate and Ashley have like charisma. I think that's one of the reasons why they were so popular. They had charisma and charm, but in this they don't. And maybe it's because they don't know how to voice act that well. I don't know. It's just whole thing's awkward.
Yeah, and fuck what happens next. They pass out from the guy's jet and breath, dog licks face.
Okay, so I know he eats like a lot of Stilton, but is that all he eats? That his breath is so powerful that he can make somebody pass out?
And
so stupid.
Apparently they're trapped in a heads maze, and we get some bland, like even though you can tell they were stretching for time with how they kept showing the same shots and edits over and over again, and like, no, it's just in a different angle and a different color. It's totally different. Fuck off, Deke. I'm glad you're dead. And
yeah,
and so they use astronomy homework to get out. And
yeah, it's the North Star, which is true.
And something about cheese and melted cheese stopping a rocket, and that's how they stop the thing. And I'm gonna level with it, Rudy. This one was really boring. Like,
yeah, it was.
I mean,
here's my thing. Oh, go ahead.
So I like to think I have a high tolerance for really bad media, but even I don't. But this was just so boring. It wasn't even. It was bland. Like, it wasn't so bad. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it's not fun in any way, and I'm not surprised this didn't last because, I mean, kids, while they can be entertained by simple stuff, they're not stupid. If they don't like something, they don't like something. But also, like, the thing is Mary-Kate and Ashley, they, like I said, they were really fun, vibrant kid actors. I had the VHS tapes of their mysteries. I loved them. I would watch them on repeat, and they did a really good job. But also another thing I was thinking of, Mary-Kate and Ashley also have siblings. They have a brother and another sister, which everybody probably knows is Elizabeth Olsen. Oh, wait, no, they just have a sister. Okay. The brother was probably just made up for the television shows, but they had a sister. I'm like, why didn't you guys have her voice a character in this instead of this, like, having these two random guys? Because they have someone who's supposed to be like their Q, and then the dude with the blue hair.
Hey, buddy. Oh, he's in a buddy mood. He is in a buddy
mood. Hi, buddy.
I know, yes, I know Daddy seems spoiled, but I can't play right now. I'm recording a podcast.
He wants to give his thoughts. Buddy is upset that there was a lack of cats. Mm-hmm. He's like, why was there only a dog? But he gives us 0 stars.
Yeah, I give it 0 stars too. Like,
me too.
Just one episode, I can tell the gist of it. It was just bland. The animation was so stiff, and the character designs unmemorable. Like, this was real bargain bin Saturday morning, like something you see from the 80s or 90s. But yeah, Dick was always behind on the times, it seemed. Like,
oh yeah,
like all of these animation and networks like Nickelodeon Cartoon Network, and they were really starting to amp up the competition. But Deke,
oh yeah,
Well, we
Deke
can see
struggled.
why Deke went the way it did.
Hang on. I'm going to check to see like what were the last things Deke made, because besides this, I think there was something else. But yeah, you're right. Like Deke had a hard time sort of keeping up with the other animation companies. And again, since they like had really sort of stilted animation and they also, you know, were very lazy, of course, more people moved to the other companies who are actually putting effort in. You know, that's why some of these like animation companies aren't around, is because they never tried to do more. Seems like the last show they made was Dino Squad.
Dino Squad?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I'm
And it was
looking
an
it up
animated
right
television-
now. Dino Squad animated series came out in 2007. And then only lasted 2 seasons across with 26 episodes.
Wow. Yeah, so that was like around the time they were sort of petering out. So, you know, I do think it's actually kind of good that this wasn't that interesting, because we have a lot to talk about. And unfortunately, there's some really, really, really sad, upsetting news.
Oh, yeah, this one got to me.
Oh, wait, hang on. There's 2 we're missing. But first, I'm going to say, I mean, everybody knows about it, but we're going to talk about it anyways. The amazingly talented James Earl Jones is unfortunately dead at 93.
Yeah,
God.
This got to me. I mean, he retired from acting, but even then, it still got to me. Like, and
yeah,
did it say his cause
and
of
it's
death?
not like he. I don't know. Did it?
Let me check. And he died in his home. Oh man, he has like a long accomplished history. Like he won 2 Tony Awards. For playing the boxer in The Great White Hope, which he also reprised in the film adaptation. And he was in Fences, Heat Wave, Gabriel's Fire. But you're all probably best known as the voice of Darth Vader in the Star Wars franchise, as well as Mufasa in the Lion King franchise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like those are his 2 most favorite roles. There's a lot of other roles he's known for, but I think those are his 2 biggest. And someone, I follow, of course, a lot of people who post about the Muppets, and someone posted James Earl Jones saying the alphabet. He just had such this guy had such an amazing voice. Like, there's something about certain people's voices that it makes you feel good in some way. It's like there's something about sound that is connected to how we feel. And James Earl Jones probably had one of the best, deep, richest voices in the world. And this does suck, but he led such an awesome life. He originally, when he was a child, he had a stutter. So that's something he talked about a lot, about how he had to overcome it. So, you know, this is a man who's had a really great career. But you know what kind of made me really sad is, so Mark Hamill played Luke Skywalker. So he would always kind of joke about how James Earl Jones was his dad.
Mm-hmm.
So he like replied to the tweet that said, you know, James Earl Jones passed away, and he's like, "I love you, Dad." And I was like, well, I'm gonna go cry. This freaking sucks. All right, and I know this one's gonna hurt you. This one's gonna make you upset.
Oh boy. Voice actor Peter Renaday dead at 89. Oh my god. I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah.
And let's see.
I saw this and I'm like, I don't want to share this with Jad. It's gonna make him sad.
Yeah, so who is Peter Renaday? He was a voice actor who did voice acting in several cartoons and even video games like Metal Gear Solid 2. He also voiced the animatronic Abraham Lincoln at Walt Disney's Hall of Presidents in Disney World. And he also voiced several other animatronics Onyx, like Henry and Max in the Country Bear Jamboree. He also did voice acting for the Aristocats, the Rescuers, the Black Cauldron, and in a lot of Saturday morning shows. But she probably best known as the original voice of Master Splinter in the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon.
Yeah, he was the original voice.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he had such a career. Like, oh my goodness. Because you were reading all this off, and it's like, I originally only knew him as, the voice of Master Splinter.
And, Townsend Coleman, who, I believe voiced Michelangelo in the 87 cartoon. He posted a tribute to him on Twitter.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm looking... Hang on, there's a bug on my screen. Go away. Get out of here. Okay, I'm looking at his Wikipedia, and it says he had a career spanning 6 decades, and he's appeared in over 200 TV and film roles. So, yeah, this is a man who was crazy talented. Did it say how he passed away? Did he pass away in his sleep, or?
Let me look it up. Peter Renaday.
It does say he died at home, but I don't. I'm on the wiki. I don't think it says what he died of.
No, it doesn't say what he died of.
Okay. And then when it rains, it pours. So if you are an anime fan, you probably know of Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is considered to be one of the most influential magical girl animes ever. Well, unfortunately, Emi Shinohara, the original voice of Sailor Jupiter, has passed away at 61.
Oh my God.
Makoto Kino, aka Sailor Jupiter, is one of my favorite characters because the thing is, she's the tallest of the Sailor Scouts.
And the tomboy, I believe.
No, that's Ray.
Oh, right.
She's the opposite because she loves to cook. She likes cleaning. She loves cute things, She dreams about, one day getting married and having a husband and keeping house. And I loved her because everybody, when they first met her, it's like, oh my gosh, she's so tall and she's scary. Like she saves Usagi from there were kids playing baseball. And somebody hit the ball, and it comes towards Usagi, and Makoto grabbed the ball and threw it back and was like, y'all watch what you're doing. She looks like she's intimidating, but she is such a sweetheart. She passed away September 8th due to an unspecified illness. It was her she is survived by a husband, Hiroshi Watari.
Oh.
So,
apparently
she also...
Oh, sorry. She died of
go ahead.
Of an unspecified illness where the treatment was ineffective.
Yeah, that's what... So she also did a lot of dubbing for Western animation and live action productions. She voiced... she was a voice of Perdita in 100 Dalmatians, the series, and April O'Neil in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She did the dubbing. And her peers, the people she worked with, the voice of Sailor Venus, Rika Fumaki, posted a tribute to her on Twitter. It was really sweet. Aww. And then we have one more, and then we can move away from the sad news.
Oh, God damn it. Okay, so forgive me if I'm not pronouncing this correctly. Michela de Prince will often turn leading ballerina. Dead at 29. Oh my God.
I know. She's only a little bit younger than us.
God. That was confirmed by the siblings, and they said the cause wasn't immediately clear and declined to reveal any details.
Yeah, they have no idea what it is, but it has to just be something that they couldn't have seen coming, because to die at 29 is very, very sudden. And she was a ballerina, so she was fit. She wrote a book that I read, and it was a very, very, very beautiful, very well written. she grew up in an orphanage, and she was later adopted, and like from that, she was raised with love and care. She had vitiligo, and that caused a lot of issues in mistreatment, but she never she never let that stop her. She filmed a documentary. She was on Dancing with the Stars. She was in the Lemonade music video done by Beyonce. She had a very long career despite being so young. Our prayers and thoughts are with the deceased's family. We hope that you find the strength and support you guys need. Okay, now we got to move on because I'm going to start crying if we don't.
Oh boy. And yeah, you got this next one, I believe.
Okay. Joaquin Phoenix's last-minute exit sparks huge amount of outrage among Hollywood producers. So, director Todd Haynes was in the process of directing a gay romance drama, and 5 days before they were supposed to start, Joaquin Phoenix, who was in the film, just exited the film. He just left. And people are rightfully pissed.
Yeah, like production was all set to go and everything. Just walked down the last minute. And apparently it was because why did he leave? Was it because he was playing a gay man or something?
That's what people are thinking. And for some reason, I guess he's not a good enough actor to just pretend to be gay.
Oh, God, what if he's homophobic?
Oh, God. It seems like he's... I don't want to be mean, but he's someone who sort of seems a little... I don't know. Like, there's something... I think personally there's something off about him. I mean, I don't like saying that because I don't know what people are going through, but I just think this is really, really messed up for him to do because it screwed over all the people working on the film, not just the actors, but like, the lighting people, the people who do the makeup, all that. It just seems like a really selfish thing for him to do. And this could really hurt his career.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, this could really damage his reputation.
Yeah, I don't know why he did this.
God,
So, yeah, I have no idea why he did this. It just feels really weird. Yeah, it says, according to some sources, some producers have idly talked about blackballing Phoenix over the Haynes departure.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's just bizarre. I don't know why he would do that.
Did he even release a statement about it yet? Otherwise,
I don't think so.
Yeah, if he's keeping mom, that's going to make things worse.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Guess we'll have to see.
And
I'm excited about this next piece of news.
Kate Spade releasing a line of Snow White collectibles.
Do you guys hear that? It's Rudy's wallet crying.
It's a bunch of little bags and accessories based on a classic animated movie by Disney. This was announced at D23 a couple of weeks ago. Oh, and I assume it's so they can cash in on the upcoming remake.
Yeah, but it's like, they say never remind people of a better movie, And this is, of course, using the classic Snow White. And I think these might be new poses. Slightly, I'm not sure. I do really like the Snow White 3D mirror crossbody bag, but I'm not spending $300 on a purse.
And yeah, I can imagine some diehard fans are going to unobsess over this.
Oh, yeah.
And oh boy, some more sad news.
Okay, so Matthew Perry's last word to assistant revealed following arrest connected to friend star death. So apparently, Matthew Perry unfortunately passed away, but apparently the things are not what they seem, because it seems as if there have been 5 people charged with relation to his death.
Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's revealing some really sad aspects of his life, but it seems like his assistant, two doctors, and some other people have been like found in some documents, and they might. So 3 of them pled guilty, and 2 of them did not. So I think they might be being charged with possibly leading to his death, because it says that Perry told his assistant to shoot him up with a big one, referring to ketamine. And instead of, saying, hey, maybe don't do that, it seems like he might have given him the ketamine.
And
yeah, like people are saying he took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves.
Oh, no.
If that's true, I really, really hope they go to jail. Because that's negligence, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe it is.
That's what I think. Like, that's negligence and maybe possibly assisting in a suicide. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah.
Oh God, and please tell me we got some more lighthearted coming up, and no, guy, I had to open my fucking mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
More details revealed about why X-Men 97 showrunner was fired. Beau DiMaio completed his duties on season 2 prior to his firing. And apparently, Moff Alpha claimed it was because of troubling. No, wait, that's DiMaio's claiming it, and there was a troubling pattern he would endure while working on Martha, but Martha claims that DiMaio had some egregious findings. And
yeah.
And it's like apparently he harassed a lot of the employees who worked with him on the show sexually. And
like sending them inappropriate stuff.
Mm-hmm. And what also doesn't have to matter is that DiMaio promised he would tell his side of the story to his OnlyFans subscribers.
Why would you do it on OnlyFans? Oh my God, that's
like Jesus. It's already telling that you gotta pay a subscription just to hear his side of the story.
Yeah, that's suspicious as heck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Showrunner, stop being creeps for like 2 seconds challenge. Come on. And I feel like this is slightly old, but more news is coming out about it. So everybody knows Mr. Beast, even if you don't watch him. If you use YouTube, you know who he is. Apparently, a bunch of allegations have come out against him and his crew because there's been like a few controversies, but this one seems to be the one that is gonna stick just because there's like a lot of people backing it up. So he's been trying to I think it's Amazon has like some sort of show they're doing with him. Most of it is coming from that, but originally how I knew of some of this is that Rosina Pansino was in a knocked my headphone out, was in a Mr. Beast like hide and seek video or something, and she had mentioned how Mr. Beast didn't follow through on some of his like promises and stuff. Yeah, so it's Beast Games. A bunch of participants messaged her about how they were treated on the behind the scenes on the game. Another YouTuber by the name of Dog Pack was an alleged former member of Mr. Beast's crew. He posted a very lengthy video talking about his time working with Mr. Beast. It seems there was another video he released in which someone who also worked for Mr. Beast named Jake Weedle had spoken up against issues with Mr. Beast. And it seems like more and more. Yep, there's another one. Nathan W., a former Discord moderator for his friend Ava Chris Tyson, leaked over 50K Discord chat logs. Allegations by Vital Vegas, which is a Vegas-based news outlet, talked about the reported mismanagement and problematic environment created during Jimmy's upcoming Beast games. And I have a distinct feeling more and more is going to come out. But how do we feel about this?
Like, I'm surprised that they were going out of the way to protect someone like this. It's like,
yeah.
It's just another day of YouTubers turn out to be horrible people.
Mm-hmm. There's only like a few YouTubers who I feel have maintained who have been relatively unscathed by this stuff. And I remember when Rosina came forward and mentioned this stuff, people were making fun of her. And now it's like, well, she was right. And it's like, I think the thing is I feel like people have been falling out of love with Mr. Beast for a while. And I don't know, like, I think people's like, oh, no one can bring him down. But it's like, I think this is going to affect his career. People might not want to work with him. People will maybe like avoid doing collabs with him and stuff. So we'll have to see. This probably won't be the only time we, talked about it. So.
But this is the only time we're going to be talking about the Acolyte. Canceled after one season on Disney+.
I did get a chance to watch this. Did you watch it at all?
No, I heard the reactions were mixed.
Yeah.
It has a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, but...
That's not that bad.
You know how Star Wars fans are.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently viewership was just okay, but not mind-blowing.
So... The Acolyte, of course, caused controversy because, oh no, there's a black woman in Star Wars. And see, I haven't watched it yet, but I think my issue is once again, we have Disney not protecting their Star Wars actors. This is the third or fourth time they've done this? This is getting really exhausting.
Yeah, it's been like this ever since The Force Awakens with what the shit they put John Boyega through. And
Kelly Marie Tran, Daisy Ridley, Oscar. I honestly kind of feel that at this point it might be better if Disney just does another, they start over again. I'm not sure how they're going to continue the Star Wars franchise. I'm a little worried, to be honest.
Okay, and yeah, it started out strong with the ratings, but it dropped out in top 10 before bottoming it out. So
there.
And what also doesn't help is that the entire season costed $100 million.
Jesus. Okay, so right now, I do know there are people who are trying to get a second season. I know Amanda Stenberg, who is the lead and is trying to possibly get a second season. So fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. But now we have some good news.
Oh, finally.
All right, so... The beloved Backyard Sports video game franchise is officially returning. So I got really excited when I heard about this. So for a lot of people, the first video games they ever played were the Humongous Entertainment games. And they had a series called Backyard Sports. They had Backyard Baseball, Backyard Soccer. I think
Backyard Basketball, Backyard Football.
Yeah, you're right. They had Backyard Hockey. They even had Backyard Skateboarding.
And even had some notable athletes star, at least child version of noticeable athletes star in them. I remember with Backyard Baseball, they made a deal with the MLB.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm guessing, from what I'm understanding, I think they've been bought by a different company.
Yeah, because Humongous Entertainment went through a lot of owners for dropping off.
So they're now owned by Playground Productions. They released a trailer, and yeah, a lot of people are really excited for this. I am excited for this because I had Backyard Soccer and Baseball, and they were a lot of fun. They were so much fun.
Yeah, I remember.
But also
sorry.
Go ahead.
You go ahead. You weren't done.
Well, also, I feel there needs to be a lot more family-friendly games. I feel like a lot of games are more focused towards older audiences, but there needs to be games for kids, too.
Oh, yeah, especially sports games.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot about this series for a while until I saw Meat Canyon stream it on his YouTube channel. And
Oh, did he play the original games?
Yep. I remember
How fun.
there was this one kid on his team who always get home runs, and he nicknamed her the BBL Sasquatch. And I remember there was one funny bit he did where he paused the game and says, "Hey, timeout. Hey, Pablo. See? You see that lady right there in the bleachers? See? She said that if you get a home run, she'll let me take her home. Can you get a home run, Pablo? See?"
Oh my god. Oh
that was
my
so
god.
much fun. That was hilarious.
Okay.
And yeah,
Alright.
I'll be looking forward to replaying this when it eventually re-releases.
Me too. I can't wait. It'll be so nostalgic.
And Shiroko and the Kingdom of Winds coming to digital. Is this the one you watched?
Yes, I can't wait. Please buy it because I don't think they're going to release it on DVD if it is not a success.
So I remember this one getting a lot of praise online. I don't really know much about it.
Okay, so basically what happens is these two sisters are staying at a family friend's house, and she's a writer, and she's a writer of a series called The Kingdom of Winds. Well, the youngest sister, Juliet, is looking through the book, and all of a sudden this little toy pops out of it. And the toy travels via hopscotch, and to get back, it makes a hopscotch thing on the ground. Juliet jumps in, and her older sister Carmen, of course, jumps in it to go save her sister, and they get transported to the Kingdom of Winds, and they end up turning into cats. And what happens is they accidentally make the mayor of this little town angry, so they get separated. So it's a journey of them getting back together and hopefully getting home. And it is beautifully animated.
Yeah.
It only had like I think 2 days in I think cinemas, because like they showed the English dub and then the original French dub.
No. Yeah, this looks really trippy. I'm definitely gonna get this a watch.
Yeah, someone sort of described it as like Jim Henson and Dr. Seuss like made a movie with a little bit of like Yellow Submarine. So yeah, it's very trippy but very pretty.
And this also looks really pretty too. Lord of the Rings, the War of Rohirrim.
I think you got it.
Editor's note, no, he didn't. It's War of the Rohirrim.
So I actually saw this trailer when I went to see Beetlejuice. This looks really, really good.
Yeah. And it's directed by, I just had the name of Kenji Kamiyama. He's best known as director on the Ghost in the Shell anime series.
Woo!
So
that was really, really pretty. Good. And he also directed, I think he directed one of the movies. No, he did not. I'm sorry. That was my bad. But he also worked on, as a background artist on Akira and Kiki's Delivery Service. So this is someone who has been around for a while. Now, I think this is an original. So this is set 180 years before Frodo goes to take the ring to Isengard. And it's about the legendary king of Rohan. So this is like, I guess, a prequel. Kind of like sort of how The Hobbit is a prequel, but it's like a lot further in time. And I think like the reason a lot of us are excited is because the main character is female. She's the princess of Rohan. Finally.
Yeah, and
it's been too long since we've had a strong female character in Lord of the Rings.
Not to mention it's an anime film getting a major nationwide release.
It looks so pretty, guys. Like me and my friend, we were in the theater and we saw the trailer and we were both sitting there and like I leaned over to her and I'm like, we have to go see this. And she's like, yeah. I think it's coming out in December, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, December, during the holiday season.
And you know what's kind of interesting is like, this is from Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers owns the Lord of the Rings franchise.
At least at Jackson first.
Yeah. they have canceled so much animated stuff except for this.
Yeah, so this is surprising that they saved this one.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to do really well. And so hopefully if it does well, they'll, stop canceling all their animated stuff and taking it off their streaming services. But, only time will tell. But we also have some more good animation news. So if you had Netflix a few years ago, there was a popular show called BoJack Horseman. It is an adult animated series about a washed up television actor who's a horse. It's in a world of anthropomorphic animals and people. And it was a hit. It was adult, but not in like a juvenile way. It dealt with a lot of really serious subject matters very well. The voice acting was amazing. Well, Raphael Bob Wasberg, the guy who created it, he and his team are coming back with a new adult animated series called Long Short Story.
Oh, let's see. Bob Waxberg can be the writer, showrunner, and executive producer, and Michael Eisner's The Toronto Company. He will be producing it. Long Story Short follows the story of a family over time. It's about the shared history, the inside jokes, the old wound. If you ever had a mother, father, sibling, partner, or child, this is a show for you. Which reminds us, by the way, would it kill you to call them? Oh.
So I'm actually also excited for this because they're bringing back Lisa Hanwalt. She's the supervising producer and will design the original art. She worked on BoJack Horseman, and then she made her own series called Tuca and Birdie, which I love. I have talked about it a lot, and I'm really sort of still upset that the show only got 3 seasons. But I'm excited for this just because when it comes to adult animation, I feel like the good ones are far and few between. And I feel like a lot of people try to rip off and emulate The Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park. And, we just end up with a lot of
homogenized, repetitive crap. Yeah.
So this I remember everyone's like, oh my gosh, BoJack Horseman. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch it. And I was surprised at how good it was. Like, it genuinely shocked me. It's funny, it's dark, it's sad, but it's just, it hits right. I will say it's a very intense show, and it deals with a lot of themes of abuse, and their death does play a part in the show. So if you cannot handle that, I don't recommend it.
And this I haven't heard about. Not Scary Farm reveals 2 new mazes for this Halloween.
Woo.
So, since I don't know...
Time to get spoopy.
So, this is more popular on the West Coast because Knott's Berry Farm is in California, I believe. And
yeah.
Universal and the East Coast got Universal's Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, Florida. But the West Coast has Knott's Scary Farm, the annual Halloween event for Knott's Berry Farm. And it's been running for 51 years. Oh, wow. Which kind of explains why Halloween Horror Nights was never popular at Universal Hollywood, or rather it's not as big as it is in Orlando, because they got tough competition at Knott's from the looks of it. And
Knott's has a very dedicated, following, for the people who, live there. So I think that's also another reason is people who grew up with Knott's Berry Farm prefer it.
Okay, and the 2 new mazes again is 8 Fingers 9, the Boogeyman. Set in 18th century colonial America, as night descends, 8 Fingers 9 emerges from the shadows in search of fresh meat. His vicious bite penetrates deep, causing sleep paralysis, which holds his victims astray while he slowly consumes their flesh. And also is Widows. It's a nursing home overrun with black widow spiders. Oh no!
Oh, you would hate that. You hate spiders.
The purpose is to secure a mate and hatch a clutch of eggs before sunrise. Oh no. No.
God.
A million no's for me. A million no's for
Jad
me.
has really bad arachnophobia. And the picture's not helping because there's like two really big spiders and then there's like a woman with glowing eyes and inside her mouth is a spider just chilling out.
Whoa.
Okay, so yeah, I guess we're not gonna go to those. But everybody else, if you live near Knott's Berry Farm, I think it said they're opening in November.
And no, it's gotta be earlier than that.
Yeah, because normally most theme parks, when they do their Halloween and Christmas stuff, they started earlier.
September 19th, so this week.
Yep. This week, yep. I know that because there's a girl at my nursery, her mom loves Disney, and she mentioned they were going to do Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. They've already done it because, first of all, around Halloween, things get crazy busy, but also it would probably be too crazy to go on Halloween to Disney. All right.
And speaking of
Disney, this is kind of old news, but we're going to talk about it anyways.
Overtakes the live-action Lion King for the highest grossing animated movie of all time.
I am so happy it dethroned that crappy remake.
Yeah, it's about time.
A lot of people were really ticked off that I don't want to call it live action because there's no people in it. That really bad remake of Lion King was at number one for a while.
Yeah, like
a few movies I think came close to dethrone of it. Yeah. And it's so weird because nobody talks about that movie.
No. For the highest grossing film, it had so little impact.
I know. And the thing is so I also, at that time, I was working at a Build-A-Bear, and for some reason they made plushies inspired by the movie. The only ones that sold well were Baby Nala and Baby Simba. The other ones did not sell that well. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of people were very happy about this. I still haven't seen the second Inside Out. I have a very long list of movies.
It's coming out later this month on Disney Plus.
Yes, but everyone's saying it's good. They say it's not as good as the first one, but it's still really good.
Yeah, definitely. Pixar desperately needed a win after Disney mismanaged them during the pandemic.
Hopefully they'll get another win with ELO next year.
Yeah, especially with the co-director Turning Red being attached to it.
Yes. So I have faith in that. But, here's some also good news. Because, so I think I've mentioned this, but when I see certain actors trending on Twitter, I automatically get scared. And Tim Curry was trending. I'm like, oh God, oh no. But it's all good. He is returning to acting. So I feel like if everybody knows Tim Curry, because he's had a very, very varied career. I feel like most people probably know him from Rocky Horror Picture Show because that was one of his first roles. But also he was a prolific voice actor, and it's because he has such a unique voice. It's another person who has a voice that I just love. He has starred in Rocky Horror Picture Show. He was in Amadeus, The Pirates of Penzance, Tales of the Crypt.
The It miniseries on ABC.
That's right. He played Pennywise. He's kind of the best thing in that. I have to admit that.
And forget, he's the voice of Nigel Thornberry from The Wild Thornberrys.
Yes.
Where he absolutely stole the show every time.
Oh yeah. He was in the second Home Alone movie. He was who was he? He was the concierge.
Concierge, yeah.
Oh, and he, one of my favorite roles is him in the movie Clue. He played Wadsworth the butler. But I think a lot of people grew up with him in Muppet Treasure Island, where he was Long John Silver, where he's like, oh, I'm surrounded by Muppets. Okay, I'm going to be a Muppet too. And he just goes balls to the wall. He's in it. He does such a good job. It feels like he is a Muppet. You don't question, why is he here? It makes so much sense. Well, he had retired because
a stroke.
He had
in a wheelchair.
Yes, he had a stroke, so that is sort of why he was mostly doing voice acting. But he's going to be starring in, I think, a horror film.
Yeah, Stream it's
which
called.
is right up his alley. Yeah, that's right up his alley because, again, we talked, he was in Pennywise. He was Pennywise in It, but also, like, he was in Rocky Horror Picture Show, which, while it's not a horror film, it pays homage to a lot of B horror films. So, like, this is the perfect role for him. So I'm really excited because I love Tim Curry.
Oh, definitely. And this one got a laugh out of me. PlayStation's and 6 vs 6 hero shooter Concord shut down after 2 weeks.
What's Concord, Jad?
Well, Concord was the remains of the previous management for PlayStation, where they were going all in on live service games, which was a really dumb puss. And when Jim Ryan, the asshole who said that, and he doesn't understand why people play older games, and he was kicked out, Concord was too far gone in development for them to cancel it, especially since it was allegedly in development for 8 years. It was supposed to be their take on Overwatch, but when launched on August 23rd, it only had about 697 players on its release date, and that's from the Steam version alone. And as of the time this was announced, it only had about 28 people playing it.
Damn.
So, with this very low player count, I can see why Sony didn't want to spend any more money and just put the plug.
It was only, how long was it out for? Was it only
2 weeks? Like it went offline on September 6th, and some only shut down. They listed it from digital storefronts and offered anyone who bought the game through the PlayStation Network a refund at least.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad they gave them refunds. But guys, you have to understand, for a video game, that's really, really bad. For the fact, that's not even a full month. 2 weeks is not a full month. That's like half of a month. That is bad. This is probably going to affect them negatively.
Definitely.
Oh, okay. So,
and speaking of,
you guys are not aware, since we both
negatively.
Okay, so both me and Jad love video games. Jad runs a Let's Play channel with our friend John. I am a streamer, so of course we both, care about video games. Well, so, therefore we care about consoles. Well, Sony officially reveals the PS5
Pro
during a presentation, and
people aren't happy about it, let's just say.
Nope. All right. So it's supposed to launch this November, and we kind of don't think anyone's going to buy it. Why do we think no one's going to buy it, Jad?
Well, there are 2 reasons I can imagine why. Since some games don't seem to receive a noticeable upgrade in visuals. On top of that, the PlayStation 5 uses AI-driven upscaling for graphics. It's from the PS4, and even the PS5. So, that, as soon as they say use AI-driven, I immediately said, I'm out. Oh,
yeah, that was me. But also, there's 2 other things. There's no disk drive.
Oh, so no, that means I forgot about that. Especially since a lot of the PS5 users still buy physical media.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So you would have to have an internet connection, and you'd have to buy all the games from the store. And sometimes they will make the games in their online store more expensive.
Or one day get rid of them entirely without warning or notice.
So this is, and here's the thing. There's actually there are some people who don't have internet access at their house. They have to go somewhere else for it. So that's already a red flag. But the big red flag, this console is going to cost $700.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
$700? Dude.
Okay, I remember that overhyped 3DO back in the 90s. It costed $700.
Okay, so the Nintendo Switch, the one I got, that was only, I think, $200. Let me check.
Like, let's see, what was the Nintendo Switch launch price? I can imagine it was significantly cheaper.
Yeah.
It had a launch price of $299. So
that's not bad.
And half this amount.
Yeah, and you can still get a Nintendo Switch like brand new for like $275. You can get like a special one for just a little bit more. So
and the sorry.
No, you go ahead.
And I believe that the handheld only model of the Nintendo Switch is even cheaper.
Yeah, it's like $100 less. So I keep saying this. I feel like some of these companies forget they have competition, so they sort of don't think about pricing. Because, okay, first of all, $700 is way too much for a console. And some people's like, well, you would spend more for a computer. I don't just use my computer for gaming. I use it for emails. I use it for writing. I use it for talking to friends. I am using it to record this podcast with Jad. We are not in the same space.
And
if this is only... Go ahead.
No, you continue.
And so it's like $700 for a console that you're only going to use for video games with no disk drive is ludicrous to me.
And not to mention, if you do want to have a disk drive, you gotta pay additional $80 for the attachable disk drive.
What?
So that brings the
80?
price. So that brings the price up to $780.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
God, this. Some people speculate this might kill Sony in the home console market. Like Sony and Microsoft are kind of on fire right now. Meanwhile, Nintendo Switch seems to be the only one of the big three that actually thinks ahead.
Yeah, like Nintendo's not a perfect company, but they seem it's like, what is it? Like Nintendo's playing chess while everyone else is like playing checkers. And I know I keep bringing this up, but guys, we're still sort of dealing with another recession here in the States. Nobody has $700 just to spend on a console. If someone gave me $700, it's like, well, I'm gonna go pay my bills. I'm gonna go fill up my car with gas. I'm gonna go get food. I wouldn't spend it on this. This is not worth it.
Definitely not.
All right. Okay. Are you reading this one or is it me?
I'll read this one.
Yes.
Disney sued for using Peter Cushing's likeness in Rogue One.
Good.
Now, this was a major problem I had with Rogue One. Unlike, instead of having a lookalike, they decided to just do a creepy, uncanny mocap.
It looks so bad.
It looked horrible.
The one for Carrie Fisher, I think, looked even worse. But this one's bad. But apparently, they didn't have permission from their Cushing's estate to do that. So if a actor or like a creator or someone like in the creative field ends up dying, they have something that's called an estate that like oversees things. Like if someone says, "Hey, I would like to use this sound clip of, say, Judy Garland in a song," they would have to either say yes or no. And apparently they didn't get... So according to this, a friend of Cushing's has alleged Disney did not have permission to create the actor's image, and Disney tried and failed to have the case dismissed for a second time. So this is actually going forward to the court.
I really hope that this kills those deepfakes.
Yeah. It's like just... They could have found a lookalike. It shouldn't have been that hard.
Yeah, especially this comes from a time when film studios are trying to use AI to create the regurgitated, reanimated corpses of celebrities and singers. It's like we saw what happened with The Flash. And now someone's trying to do it with Elvis for a documentary, and I'm really hoping this kills it. I pray to God it kills it.
Well, also the thing is that this does open up the door for people to sue creators who try to use AI to create stuff featuring people who have passed. And that's a good thing, because it's like there's a lot of people who are abusing AI. They are trying to use it to profit off these, people's likenesses. And since, they're dead, they can't do anything to stop it, but the estates can. So, yeah, I'm hopeful about this. Oh, and I know you're happy about this.
So, Powerpuff Girls are coming to Multiverses Season 3 alongside Nubia from DC Comics.
I'm so...
Yeah, it seems like this season will focus on female superheroes.
Oh, they look so cute!
I know. They're the Assassin's class, meaning they're fast-paced with lots of combat potential, but they're lightweight glass houses.
And the thing is, you can switch who's, in front.
Yeah, and it also affects how they play, too. Or, down special drops who's the leader. With Bubbles, you move faster, but your attacks have a reduced knockback. Buttercup, while you move slower, all of your attacks have increased knockback. While Blossom is a balance between speed and power.
Okay, I was just watching this, and Buttercup has this really cute line where she goes, Garnet, Garnet, watch me!
I know.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and I'm so glad it's the original trio and not the reboot version.
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
And
I don't know a single person who likes that remake.
No, I can't imagine anyone. Plus, Rowdy Rough Boys will be an alternate skin for them, complete with their own voice lines. And so, yeah. And Nubia, she's from DC Comics. She's in Amazon, like Wonder Woman. And only instead of a sword and lasso, she uses a spear. And I believe she also has regenerative powers. And
yeah, a lot of people were really happy that she's not a skin for Wonder Woman. She's her own character.
Yeah, I think this might be her first official appearance in another media besides the comics.
I think so. Yeah, I don't think she hasn't been in anything animated. And nothing live action. So I think you're right.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing as them tomorrow.
All right. So now it is time to get to recommendations. Do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
You go first.
All right. So everyone's probably seen the trailer for this movie, but I'm someone who, if something is based off a book, it's I'm going to go read it. So when I heard about the wild robot, I decided to get the book. I got it for Christmas last year, I think.
Oh, neat.
And I'm currently reading this. I'm almost done with it. It's a very simple book, but it reminds me a little of the Iron Giant. So what happens is this robot named Roz ends up on an island. And there are no humans. It's just animals. And at first the animals are afraid of her. Well, what Roz does is she listens and ends up being able to talk to the animals. And the animals end up accepting her. And she ends up also adopting a little gosling because she accidentally killed the family and the other eggs. When she did this, she found the egg. And even though she was a robot, she's like, I'm going to keep this and hatch it. And at first she's like, I don't think I can raise him. But the other animals help her raise the duck. The duck sees Roz as its mother. I'm really enjoying it. It's really good. It's an A+ book, and I can understand why they adapted it into a movie. And I really want to read the other 2 books because it's really good.
I know I'm going to look forward to the movie.
Oh, yeah. The movie looks like it's going to make me cry. I'm 100% certain I'm going to cry. But in a good way. All right. Now, if you guys, so if you've been listening to this podcast, you know I love animation. And I follow a lot of YouTubers on animation YouTubers on YouTube. And I think my favorite is Let Me Explain It Studios by Rebecca Parham. Rebecca Parham is an animator who really loves theater and Disney and stuff, but she has such a wit about her. Her videos are so funny. And see, she got famous because she made something called How to Creep Out Your Favorite YouTubers. And it's funny because, she was overdoing it. She was like, it's like, hey, wait, where is it? I'm trying to remember exactly what it's called. No, that's VidCon. Where is it? How to creep out your fave YouTubers, and she got Tomska and Jaden Animations and Danbo, the guy who does Annoying Orange, to star in it, because she's actually friends with Danbo. And she also is a phenomenal singer. She has such a beautiful voice. She'll sometimes do covers on her channels, but she usually ends up singing on other channels. But she's just so funny, and I really love her character designs, because she doesn't give her characters mouths, but the reason she did that is because one of her art teachers at Ringling, where she went to school, said he loves Gromit because even though Gromit doesn't speak, you can tell what Gromit is feeling. He has very expressive eyes. So that's why she relies on the eyes to help tell the story of what the characters are, experiencing. So I highly recommend her. I will put a link in the tweet to her channel.
Oh yeah, I remember I saw this cartoons for the first time. I believe you were streaming and you had to step away for a second, so you just put like an autoplay on YouTube of your favorite YouTubers. Right?
Yes, I have one of her videos in my favorites.
Yeah, it was the My Teacher Killed Someone video, which was, oh my god, I can't imagine. Like, I even did a little research who this person was, said, oh my god, and he was real, this is all real. Holy shit.
Yeah. Like, because it was at her school, and she was like, it's kind of scary to know that I was like arguing with a known killer over a paper, but like, yeah, she's a really great storyteller. I highly recommend her.
And one that got kicked out of me was when she had to open the door for her dog because it had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And when it came back with what she thought was a stick, she took it out from the dog's mouth, and it turns out it was a deer leg.
Yeah, she lived on a farm. There was a lot of deer out there.
Okay, and now it's my turn. Mine is also a YouTube channel called The Hot Ones. Now, what is The Hot Ones? Well, it's this comedian named Sean who interviews several celebrities. But instead of just asking them questions like a normal interview, he asks them 10 questions across 10 different intensities of hot sauce.
That's actually a really creative idea.
Yeah, they start out pretty mild and tame sauces, and then as it gets progressively more and more hotter. Like I saw one he did with John Oliver. That was hilarious, and John Oliver says he loves wasting Warner Brothers money on dumb skits for Last Week Tonight. And there was this one sauce he tried that only had 3 words: maple, bourbon, and Reaper.
Ooh.
Yeah, like the Carolina Reaper for years was the hottest pepper until Pepper X came out.
Pepper X? Oh no.
Yeah, like the Scoville level on Pepper X is like over 2 million. And but the one I saw of him interviewing both Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds at once, the last experience was the name of the hot sauce with the Pepper X in it. And poor Hugh Jackman, he is not good at handling spicy food, let's just say it.
Oh,
There's
no.
one point where his eyes were tearing up and he wiped his eyes with the napkin he was using to wipe his mouth.
Oh no! Did it get in his eye?
I'm not sure. I hope it didn't. But they had to bring out Ice Criminal to help him. And Ryan Reynolds, he was a trooper doing it, but you can start tell. At one point he was struggling. He just blurted out, "I cheated at Wordle." And even he doesn't know why he said that. But the hot sauce is making him spill the truth, apparently.
So see, I think the reason Hot Ones also kind of got like sort of famous recently is because they had Donald Duck on it.
Yeah, like to celebrate his 90th birthday, it might have been the second time they had an animated character guest on the show, and they had...
What was the other animated character?
Puss in Boots.
Oh.
And what I loved about the Donald Duck one is that they got a Disney legend to animate and direct it, Eric Goldberg. Eric Goldberg.
Oh, that's awesome.
He worked for some legendary animators such as Chuck Jones and Richard Williams. And him at Disney, he became a legend when he animated the genie in Aladdin, Phil in Hercules, Lewis and Princess and the Frog. But Fantasia,
so like all my favorite characters.
For Fantasia 2000, he also directed the Rhapsody in Blues segments. And which was that.
Oh, I love that one. So
yeah.
someone who's crazy talented.
Yeah, and he decided to go uncredited as a director on Pocahontas, mainly because of creative differences between the executives.
That's right. Oh my goodness, I remember that. They're like, yeah, we don't want our names on this movie. Just take it off, please.
And so a reason why it took me so long to return to record for the podcast is because I was on a Disney cruise. And
for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and when I was on the ship, I had no internet access at all. I had to put my phone on airplane mode because if you have your phone on cellular out in the ocean, they charge you a shit ton of money for that.
Yeah, it's like, what, $25 a day?
Well, for the Wi-Fi, yes, but if you're on cellular data, you can look forward to a phone bill of $4,000.
No, thank you.
So that's why I put my phone on airplane mode every time I was at sea. But thankfully I managed to download a few books to pass the time. One of them was Who Censored Roger Rabbit by Gary Wolfe. If at least, let me double check to make sure that's his name. Gary K. Wolfe. I forgot the middle initial.
There's a little difference, but you were right.
Now, many of you noticed the movie this book is based on. I mean the movie that the book inspired, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yep.
But I don't think a lot of people really know the original book that inspired it, Who Censored Roger Rabbit.
I actually read the book too, but I'm going to wait for you to say your thoughts before I say anything.
Now, there are some major differences, like it takes place in a world where toons and humans coexist, only here, they mainly focus on comic strip toons. Like for the toons, a lot of them speak, word bubbles pop out, and the density of the bubble depends on the mood. Like, if they're really sad, the speech bubble becomes soggy. And while the film talks, you can see how toons are treated almost like lower class citizens in the movie, but they delve further into the book. Like, some businesses even refuse service to toons, so they have an area where only the toons can dine in. And because of this,
racism.
And because of this, some toons, they try to suppress the speech bubble to act more human.
Because some of them can pass for humans.
Now, in this book, private detective Eddie Valiant is hired by a notable toon, Roger Rabbit, who stars as a second fiddle for Baby Herman in the syndicated comic strip Baby Herman, and syndicated by the Greasy Brothers Syndicate. Roger alleges that the Greasy Brothers was originally promised him his own comic strip, but they backpedaled on it, and they won't even let him sell his contract to any notable buyers. So he hires Valiant to try to investigate as to why they backpedaled, leading Valiant to interview the Greasy Brothers and several people who know and work with Roger, but all of them testimonies contradict each other. And that's all I'm going to go into it for now, because it's a mystery, and I really don't want to spoil some of the more shocking elements, let's just say.
I was so a lot of times, like when people adapt books to movies, you know, they change a lot of stuff. They changed a lot, but also what I found interesting is that the guy who wrote this, he actually loves the movie. He really liked it.
So much so that he wrote 2 books that are direct sequels to the film.
Yep.
And he retconned this first book as it being a nightmare Jessica had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he is pushing for Disney to make a new Roger Rabbit stuff, but it's kind of tricky because the rights are split between 3 people: Arthur K. Wolf, Disney, and Steven Spielberg, and all 3 had to come to an agreement on anything Roger Rabbit related. Like Spielberg actually dismissed a lot of different Roger Rabbit projects shortly after the film's success.
Yeah, so that's kind of why we also don't see a lot of Who Framed Roger Rabbit merch. We only get like a little bit every few years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like we were incredibly lucky that we got 3 shorts and a Disneyland attraction.
Yeah, but I second Jad's recommendation. I really enjoyed the book. Like as soon as I started it, I was engrossed in it. I had to finish it. Like I think I finished in 2 days.
Oh wow! Yeah, like the chapters are short, so you feel like a genius.
Yeah. Okay, so thankfully, I think we're gonna have something that's a little more interesting and fun. We are returning to Oz, except this time we're going to outer space. We are going to be talking about the wonderful galaxy of Oz.
We'll
bye,
return
everybody.
to Oz again?
Yep, we're going back to Oz.
Okay, then. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.